Hello, this is Rob Dickin with Full Focus, here to do a little short demo on the Keystone Cowboy and some of the features, and here we go. So it comes with an installer. It's pretty simple, just need to fill in your contact info, name and company, and then it will install for you. Open it up, and what you're going to see on your screen is the main interface. Then you're going to get a little pop-up window. I'll quickly go over some of the main features. First one, we've got an on and off button. The button will remain off until you load a video, and then it will automatically turn itself on and start playing the video. Really, the only reason you need that, if you're in the middle of a video and you want to turn it off, you can hit the off button. This green LED here is an activity indicator, just letting you know that everything's running fine and working well. Number 3 is the file change indicator. So if you drop a folder in here with several movies in it, it will just blink every time you switch to another movie. Right in here, the name of the video file that you're playing will appear. The drop folder feature that we have is if you put all your movies that you want to watch in a folder, you can drag it to this location and let go, and then it will load those movies into the player and they will go one after the next. The single file button, which is just load file, if you want to load one movie, select on the movie and then it will start playing, as you can see here. You can also click in the time bar to advance or rewind your movie. Then we have just our version number here, so we can keep track of where we're at with our versions. You know what version you're on if you need to send any technical questions to us. Okay, coming down here on the right side with the buttons, we have invert on and off. So if you are doing rear projection and you don't want to set that feature up in your projector, you can do it right here on Keystone Cowboy, which is pretty handy if you're wanting to do anything like projecting on a window for Halloween or something like that. Instead of fiddling around with the settings in the projector, you can just hit your invert and it will invert the image and it will look correct from the outside looking in. We have a full screen button, which is also accessible through the escape key. If you hit full screen, your movie will go to full screen. So if you are only using one monitor or projector, this full screen would come up and then cover up your interface. So as far as keystoning goes, which we'll get into here in just a second, the full screen function is very handy to be able to set your corner pinning where you want it and then save it. If you do some corner pinning, and the way that you do the corner pinning is 2 methods. One, you can do it right on the screen. On the little preview window, you'll get 4 little indicators showing you where your corner pinning keys are at this point. So you click on it and then you can drag one of those around to the top corner of your window or your projection surface, and then you can just do the same thing for each of the 4 corners, getting the video exactly where you want it and square on the wall, window, door, hotel room wall, whatever you're projecting on. And you can go to a pretty serious angle. I mean, you can make the video look square no matter where you're putting the projector pretty much. You can even turn the projector sideways and then move your pins around to play the video sideways. So it's pretty powerful when it comes to the corner pinning. So as we're going down the buttons here, you can see the next button is a reset button. The reset button will reset your corner pins. So don't hit this if you've done any work on your corner pins and want to save them. That's the next button down. If I hit save and then close the program, reopen the program, the corner pinning will be exactly where you left it. So for right now, and demonstration purposes, let's go ahead and hit the reset button. There we go. So the other way to do corner pinning is in the corner pinning window here. You can see 4 little circles on each corner. You can just go ahead and grab one of those circles and it will turn green when it's active. and then you can just corner pin it this way. This is a handy feature if you have a monitor hooked up to your computer as well as a projector, and you can just drag this little window over to your projector and then go to full screen, and then you can corner pin right here as opposed to coming out and doing it on your screen. So you can see that the corner pin buttons on the screen react to what you're doing on the output. So very handy. We have a screenshot feature which will take a screenshot of the output. So if your output is in this size, you'll get a screenshot. I'll just go ahead and do one for demonstration purposes. It will put it on your desktop. So you can see here that we have a screenshot of what was going on the output. If that would have been full screen, then your screenshot picture would be the same size as your monitor. And also, if you do another screenshot, it will replace the screenshot that you had unless you rename the old one. So be careful of that if you're wanting to save them. One thing the screenshot is handy for is, I'll get to it here in a second, when you're in test mode, you can take a screenshot and then it will show you the keystoning that's needed if you wanted to use that for editing video, which is pretty handy as well. So the program will automatically default when you launch it with, this is a mute button, it will be unmuted and the volume will be at 15%. We did that on purpose because we didn't want people to accidentally leave a movie that was a low volume at a high level when they turn off the program, and then maybe launch a different movie with a higher volume on the next one and possibly blow your speakers or your sound system. So it will automatically default to 15% every time you launch the program. There's also a mute button. If you click on the speaker icon right below the volume slider, it will mute it, and then it will return back to wherever you had left the volume. Then we've got close. If you click on that, it will close the program. It will save your corner pinning, and that's it. It won't remember what movie you were playing or what file you were playing. You'll have to reload it when you launch the program. Let's see, then let's move on over here to test. When you select the test button, it will throw a grid up with white lines and the Keystone logo. And this is very useful for when you want to corner pin your video, because it gives you very straight structure to work off of, and you can get your corner pinning exactly where you want it with the white lines. It's very handy to have. And then once again, here is where if you wanted to take a screenshot, you'll see that the screenshot will have the shape of the video. So if you wanted to pre-render anything for a project, or if you needed the shape of a video, you could use this to create a mask in your editing software, whatever software that may be. In test mode, you still have all the functionality of all the corner pins on the screen and on the corner pinning pads, so you're able to work with the grid in both of those locations. You're not able to play a video, obviously, when you're in test mode, but when you go out of test mode, it will return the video to where you were playing it. Then we've got a link to our support site down here. If you click on that, it'll open up a web browser and take you to the online manual, which will go over pretty much everything that I'm telling you here. Pause button, very simple. Pauses the movie if you've got to run and go get a drink. The random button, if you do use the folder feature and drop a folder into the folder area up here and it starts playing a movie, you now have the option of going to the next movie. It will play them in order unless you turn random on, and then it will randomize however many movies you have in there and play them at random. It will only play them once in random before it starts looping the random feature again. So the next button obviously just takes you to the next movie. Movie position indicator right here. Like I said, you can click on that and it will basically that's your fast forward and rewind. The time code here is no specific time code. It's basically a percentage of the total. So if your movie is 2 hours, it will run up to 100%. So when you're up here, you're at 95% of said movie. So this number is only an indication of basically percentage of how far you are into the movie. And that pretty much covers it. We'll show some more video here of in another episode of actual keystoning in a real live environment, so you can see the output on a projector and that sort of thing. So we appreciate you looking at this and hope you enjoy the Keystone Cowboy. Thanks a lot.